Title: The Drums of Love. In the lush green hills of western Kenya, deep within the heart of the Luhya land, lay a village called Emakwale. This village was known for its vast sugarcane plantations, its vibrant markets, and the rhythmic beat of the traditional Isikuti drums, which filled the air during celebrations, especially during weddings. Here, in a small hut overlooking the Nzoia River, lived Wekesa, a young man who was known for his strength, honesty, and the sparkle in his eyes that reflected the pride of his heritage. Weksa's father had been a renowned blacksmith, crafting the finest tools and weapons for the community. When he passed on, Wekesa inherited not only the skill but also the responsibility to uphold the family's honor. However, Weksa's heart was drawn elsewhere. Every time he pounded his hammer on the anvil, it was not just the sound of metal clashing that filled his mind, but the soft voice and the laughter of a young woman named Nasimiyu. Nasimiyu was the daughter of the village chief, a kind-hearted man known for his fairness and wisdom. She was the village's flower, admired by many for her beauty, grace, and the way she danced to the Isikuti rhythms. Her movements were like the swaying sugarcane in the wind, delicate yet full of energy. Nasimiyu had many suitors, but her heart remained untouched. That is, until she noticed Wekesa. It was during the annual harvest festival, an important celebration in the Luhya culture, that their paths crossed in a meaningful way. The village was adorned with bright kitenge fabrics, and the smell of roasted maize and ugali filled the air. People gathered around a massive bonfire, where elders told stories of their ancestors, and the young competed in traditional games. As the Isikuti drums began to beat, Nasimiyu stepped forward to lead the dance, her feet moving gracefully to the rhythm. Wekesa, standing in the shadows, watched her, his heart pounding as loudly as the drums. He had admired her from afar for years, but had never mustered the courage to speak to her. Tonight, however, something in the air pushed him forward. As the music swelled, Wekesa found himself moving towards the dance floor, joining in the celebration. To his surprise, Nasimiyu noticed him, her eyes locking with his as their feet began to mirror each other's steps. The dance became a conversation of its own. Their bodies moved in perfect harmony, a silent exchange of feelings that neither had expressed before. By the time the music faded and the drums quieted, the entire village had taken notice of the connection between the two. Whispers spread like wildfire, but Wekesa and Nasimiyu didn't care. They had found something in each other that was deeper than mere attraction. Over the next few weeks, they began to meet by the river, away from the prying eyes of the village. Under the shade of a towering mugumo tree, they would sit and talk, their conversations ranging from stories of their childhood to their dreams for the future.
Wekesa will sometimes bring her small gifts, handcrafted bracelets made of cowrie shells, or a pouch of roasted groundnuts. Nasimiyu, in return, will sing for him, a voice as sweet as honey, filling his heart with joy. But as their love blossomed, so did the challenges. In the Luhya community, the marriage between a chief's daughter and a blacksmith's son was not easily accepted. While the community admired Wekesa's skills and character, many felt he was not worthy of marrying Nasimiyu, who came from a higher social standard. The chief, often fond of Wekesa, was bound by traditions. He expressed his concerns, reminding his daughter that a marriage to Wekesa will bring discontent among the others. Nasimiyu, however, was determined. "Father," she said one evening, "I have danced with many men, but none has touched my soul like Wekesa. His love is pure, and is not status that builds a home, but understanding and respect." The chief was torn. He loved his daughter dearly and wanted her to be happy, but he also knew the weight of tradition. After many sleepless nights, he called Wekesa to his heart. "Young man," he began, his voice steady but kind, "you have won my daughter's heart, and that is not an easy thing. But winning the hearts of the elders will be even harder." Wekesa, standing tall, nodded. "I am willing to prove my worth, not through wealth or status, but through my actions. Give me a challenge, and I will face it with honor." The chief, impressed by Wekesa's determination, thought for a moment. The harvest season is upon us, and the rains have been unkind this year. If you can organize the villagers and ensure that the harvest is plentiful, you will have my blessings. Wekesa accepted the challenge, and with Nasimiyu by his side, he railed the village. Together they worked tirelessly, teaching new irrigation techniques, organizing labor and sharing the workload among the families. Day after day, Wekesa led by example. His hands blistered from work, but his spirit unbroken. When the harvest was finally brought in, it was one of the most bountiful the village had ever seen. The elders, who had been skeptical at first, now praised Wekesa for his leadership and dedication. The chief, true to his word, gave his blessings, and soon after the village was preparing for a wedding. The day of the ceremony was one of great celebration. The Isikuti drums echoed through the hills once again, this time in honor of love. Wekesa and Nasimiyu stood before the people, dressed in traditional regalia, their hands joined in front of the village elders. As the sun set over the Nzoia River, the couples exchanged vows, promising to love and support each other for the rest of their life. The village rejoiced, following Wekesa and Nasimiyu examples. They saw love that had overcome traditions and adversity, and as Isikuti drums beat long into the night, their rhythm told a new story, a story of love and unbreakable bond between two hearts. The end.